So welcome back to 0 to 60, where three bearded blokes, well, one bearded bloke and two people have shaved, from Manchester talk all sorts of things about FaB. Joined as ever, and admittedly belatedly, because some of us decided to have a life outside of FaB. George and Liam, you've come back somehow.
Some reason. Got back.
We're getting forced to be here at this point.
Yeah.
No, that's just the data team.
Yeah, they're still forced to be here, but you are contractually obliged now that roughly. Well, if in fact we're not late, if we treat it as a New Zealand-ish, we're going to release the FaB 2.0 news
shady.
in a month-ish.
He's still on about that.
Shady. He's disappointed. He wanted it on a month on the dot.
I was pinning a lot of this week's content on it that being released. But alas not, and, well, there's not really much happened in the last 2 weeks, has there? I
guess a battle hardened would be something that's happened. I mean, I'm not sure anything happened apart from that, right? Like nothing significant for any of us in particular.
No, I mean, you've just booked a holiday, haven't you, George?
Yeah, I have actually. I heard you. I think you mentioned you'd booked something as well, James.
Yeah, I had. I mean, Liam, didn't you book one?
I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure he didn't.
No, he's too big for that now. I've heard. I mean, Liam, have you got some news to share with folks?
I mean, apparently not, because George being mean, you're being mean.
Well, we'll quickly move on then. So,
so as nothing's happened, it's great into the podcast.
Obviously, on a man who ground hard through PQ season, just missed out on an automatic PTI through that. Managed to actually qualify through the massive 90-day grind. Congratulations, Mr. PT.
Oh my, do not carry on calling me that.
Oh, that's it, mate.
Now you've said that, that's it. It's in.
You've been changed on Discord, admin privileges. But no, you've actually made it. So 0 to 60 is going on a holiday to New Jersey.
Oh, yes. Flight booked, we're sorted.
Well, not quite. We're still waiting the ESTA to confirm we're allowed in the country.
We're all booked. We're just not allowed in yet.
Yeah. I mean, does a PT get you through customs as well, Liam? Or is that...
I hope so.
They'll have just heard of him, mate. That's all
just single-handedly Google my name and then I just pop up. That'd be great.
I mean, I assume James White's already got the lowdown.
It's just got the big James White stamp of approval on it.
I'll meet you when I win the Pro Tour after it. Great.
It's just got a big Yorick the Bard stamp now on his passport. Obviously, that's with the announcement that's obviously the little promo. Now, whether that gets banned instantly in the restricted and banned, I can imagine it will.
I should hope so.
I can imagine people won't be too happy if you end up playing their Cold Foil Arknight shard against them.
Just riffle shuffle that into your deck.
Well, no, it's you match all the decks.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah, you could just riffle shuffle those 60 cards together. It'd be great.
I mean, it's like Kano, right? It's not just your turn. It's not just our turn now. It's also our deck. It's our graveyard. It's our banish zone. So it's definitely an interesting one. So obviously, with what we saw from ProQuests and all the play that's happened since then, have you got any predictions for PTs? Do you think anything's going to change? Because we are in this weird twilight zone of we kind of know what the meta is at the moment, but there's this looming ogre on the horizon of the banned and restricted on the 5th, 6th April, a week and a bit's time. Have you got any predictions, chaps, on what the PTs are going to be like and how that's going to depend?
I know Liam's got some pretty solid opinions on this one, so why don't you go?
Oh, are we talking about banned and restricted already? Okay.
I think so, because I think the banned and restriction really goes into what we think is going to happen at PTs.
Yeah, it'll be a big impact, right?
I mean, it definitely should be, unless for some reason they use the PT being so close to not do anything, which would probably be the worst result for us all.
I mean, even if they do nothing, that's still going to have a huge impact on what the Pro Tour is going to look like.
I mean, I don't think much changes from what PQ season looks like to PT, right?
No.
If nothing changes, that is, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't know, as far as my predictions, I want to see 4 card changes. I want the first one...
Do you think these will happen, or are you hoping that these happen?
I think they'll happen if they've got sense. Because that's like the worst way of putting it, right?
Take number 1!
What is this even doing? What a bunch of idiots!
No, it makes sense to make these changes. Well,
How
from
could
my
they not
point of
see
view,
it?
anyway. I mean, all the Prism mains, the Viscerai mains, all disagree with me probably, but I'm used to it. It's fine. So, number one, I'll do one at a time, and you can have your pointers on it if you agree or disagree. My first one would be
Much appreciated.
Rosetta Thorn, changing it to Elemental, so only Briar can use it.
If I had a number 10 sign, like a diving judge board, I'd be holding it right now.
Oh, I'd be holding that up too. You'd be scoring beautifully for that one.
Yeah. Perfect entry.
Number two would be to ban Starvo completely.
Ooh, that is a hot take.
Can I give the man an 11? I mean, I'd go for that.
Like, I know it's close to Living Legend, but he's going to get there, so why not just end it early?
I mean, I've got a feeling they won't ban him.
No, I don't.
I've got a feeling some other cards may well get an errata. A bit like with how they errata Briar, but I think they're going to have big cards around him.
A few cards for a hero that's going to go into Living Legend also straight after the PT.
I'm not sure. How do you errata Starvo?
Well, I think
you errata him if anything.
I think you errata might. I know we talked about it last time. Like your Oakenolds go to specialization.
Yeah, I mean, still leaves him with access to crippling and spinal and plenty of other nasty on-hit effects.
But at least, and I am saying this, at least they're crush effects. So he has to at least hit for 4. I mean, they're still dominated, right? But it's like, I don't know, I'm slightly less. I think they're slightly less egregious, especially when we got 3 of each. So you're going to get a lot more of Autumn's touches, I think. But I say, whether your point about if it's just going to get, if you're going to win this like you won the call in at Indy, what's the point of errata-ing something if he's going to go in a month anyway?
Yeah, I think it's much harder for them to ban something to impact Starvo, unlike they did with Briar. And I think the biggest hit they did on Briar anyway was the errata to the hero card, regardless. So I mean, I don't know. I just think the easiest way for me would be to just change something on Bravo himself, give him a deck building restriction, give him I don't know, just change the way that his hero ability works, something along those lines, just to make it so that he's a little bit less impactful. Personally, I'd just sooner see him banned. Just get him out sooner rather than later, but I don't think they'll do it. I really don't think they will.
In like the errata or anything, he's going to go anyway. So you either just don't change him and let him go, or just ban him straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst thing.
The only thing that's going to go down is the cold fall price. It's already tanking as it is.
Yeah, what's it down to about 130 now?
120.
120. It was
to be about it.
250, 300 was what was getting touted out when it got released.
Yep. Yeah, no idea how many actually sold at that price, but that was the prices they were being put up for at the very least.
Yeah, some sucker somewhere bought one, right? But it's one of those. It's an interesting one because part of it is about what look they want for the PT as well. Like, do they want it to just be the same meta? Apparently, I was listening to the Team Covenant cast last week. They covered off how good Indian event was, but they said the amount of people who just have a very negative feel towards Starvo, that it's worse than Chain and Briar. People playing it, apologising for Captain Planeting for the 3rd time in a row, and it's probably not a great look now. You probably don't get that as much at PT.
I think as well. I think given that it's a more serious event, given that obviously he won at Indy as well, I think we're going to see a higher percentage even there of Starvos. So, and obviously with it being an invite only event for the Pro Tour, means that people are going to be taking it as serious as they possibly can. So I just think you're going to see even more. It's going to be a very dull, boring meta with Starvo around now as well. That people seem to have cracked. Obviously, a more control-based Starvo. Again, it just gives people another way to play him, which means that there's just going to be more of them out there.
Yeah, it seems to have shored up the Prism matchup a little bit. It's still
Sorry, finish off. Go on.
No, I was saying, I think they seem to have had better results against Prism with the control. Now, whether that sticks, not entirely sure, but obviously if Prism was kind of keeping Starvo in check, and then Starvo versus Prism, if they suddenly get a stronger matchup, you're just going to see so many
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what George said, to be honest. There's, 414 individual people that's qualified for Pro Tour. Let's say 250 of them actually go, and everyone wants to win, and if Starvo's the best deck, like, do you want your first Pro Tour to be represented by 200 Starvos? That's not a good image for the game, in my opinion.
I also just think as well, one of the biggest things that was stopping Starvo being the overwhelming majority of the meta is it's an incredibly hard deck to build. You need a lot of L's, a lot of M's, a lot of things that a lot of players at the ProQuest level won't have access to, and that's probably why they weren't playing it. But once you get up to the Pro Tour level, where most people have won their invites playing Starvo to get there, that's going to become an incredibly, incredibly popular meta pick, it would be my guess.
For sure.
And I just think unless they do something to hit him, it's going to be a lot of Starvo mirrors, a lot of people just, and it's going to be very dull watching, seeing the first person to hit an Oakenhold in a game, and then it being over, 2 or 3 turns later, or, whatever. It's just going to end up being a bad look for the first Pro Tour.
100%. I mean, Liam, you said there was 2 other cards, so you said ban Starvo, Rosetta
Change
to
Rosetta,
Elemental.
Yeah. Third one would be to ban Skeletor completely.
Ooh, that is a big call. I'd love to see it.
I think Skeletor's an extremely powerful card. I think it's too powerful. Like, the fact that it's an M is ridiculous. Like, even changing it to an L doesn't make a slight difference part of the price. But I think it makes cards unfair. It makes Ninth Blade, which is an absolute terrible card, into a very, very good card. It makes Sonata from a fair card into a fucking ridiculous card. It makes Vexing Quillhand into a insane turn starter. So you start with no rune chance, then you pop Vexing Quillhand. You've got 2. If it's on Mordred Tide, you've got 3. And I've seen 44 damage turns come from absolutely nothing just because of Skeletor's existence. When you're not OTK, when tempo builds can do that sort of power, it's the card needs sorting, in my opinion. It just needs to go.
It's had a slightly different take, not that, and it involves Skeletor, but I would change the interaction between how reducing and a cost of X works. So, I mean, speaking to Leicester a couple of, just when it first got announced, Sonata, and how it actually interacted, I couldn't believe you could actually reduce the cost of X.
So what would you be proposing on that one? Like that you couldn't reduce it below 0?
You can't. Once you declare the cost, you have to pay it. Isn't something you can reduce. But
yeah,
it's a bit
so
like
if you could. Below.
Yeah, it's like if you could reduce. If there was some sort of mechanologist one way could reduce the cost of X on a Spark of Genius to suddenly get a plasma purifier for free. It's not the same sort of power level, but that level of just saying if it's an X, you have to pay for it. It's not something that can be reduced. Which means you don't have to then ban a card, but it does mean you'd have to do change the rules, because they just had 2.0 out.
But Skeletor and Sonata isn't the whole problem.
That's true.
It's Skeletor enabling insanely powered turns.
Oh, yeah, I think it still lets it be a good card. It's allowed to be a good card. It just stops the absolute madness that you can get when it comes to, especially in Blitz, right?
Oh, I was going to say, aside, I think I wouldn't mind seeing, because I think I agree with you on that one, Liam. I'd like to see it banned or edited or whatever in some way. I want to see something hit on Skeletor. I don't think they will, but I would love to see it at the very least banned for Blitz, because at the moment the Blitz meta feels very, very Viserai heavy. It's just the game's over by turn 3, and I think that at least somewhat abates once you get rid of Viserai. Just because it forces everyone to try and compete on an aggro level with Viserai, and I don't think many can do that without very, very good draws. So I think if they touch that, the Blitz meta at least would be in a bit of a better place. I'd like to see it for everything, just because I think it's an incredibly powerful piece of equipment that shouldn't have been the way it was. The fact that it gives you a reduction on both an attack and the next non-attack action, plus has temper, seems insane.
No, I agree with that. And I mean, all 3 of us sat down and played the Battle Hardened in Leeds last week.
Yep.
And Vis ran riot. If you didn't for round 1, you got a Vis and you weren't playing it, you might as well get you pretty much 0-1. There wasn't really much going to counter it outside of some serious god hands. And I think we were saying this before. I played Kasai. It's a very good deck, powerful deck, but it's a very fair deck. You're not winning on turn 2 unless you get some absolute nuts turn 1 where they don't block a Spoils of War, etc. to generate all 6. Then you get your spoils, and even then that's not as broken as what Sonata and Skeletor let you do. So I wouldn't mind it being banned. I'm just trying to think what they might actually do, because I know they don't.
I don't think it's an easy card to errata.
No, it's not.
So I think it's just simply like, I know every Runeblade and Viscerai main is gonna cry and moan if they hear this, but let's just get rid of it. It's a shame about all the Prism players are gonna come after for the next one.
It's all right. Go on then. Go on, hit them with it.
Ban Luminaris.
I mean, I'd love to see
straight
it.
up. Or if you're gonna errata it, make it cost so they can attack.
Does changing Luminaris fundamentally kill Prism?
It probably does, but to be honest, it's too powerful. Again, it's ridiculous. Like, imagine being able to swing 16 Spectral Shields by pitching 1 yellow, and then swing 3 Heralds after it. It's an absolute joke.
I don't even think that's the main problem with Prism right now. I think it would help because it would kill the build that does it. But the main problem is Spectra is a very uninteractive keyword, I think, is the biggest issue. But Luminaris enables the Aura build, right? Which I think if you did ban it, would fix
Luminaris,
that.
It also represents the Herald build, right? Luminaris is Prism.
Yes, that's true. It's how everyone's built Prism decks. It was very refreshing, actually, to play against an Iris Prism at the weekend, and just to see what that actually looks like when they're pitching cards to attack.
I mean, it wasn't great, right?
No, I mean, lost that game and everything else, but at least it was different.
Well, I mean, I guess that's the thing, is it? Because I think we've said before, I think there's a few things wrong with Illusionist, like how they've got hero power that costs 2, and then which you then pitch the yellow, which then triggers Luminaris to be on and active, is kind of silly. But I mean, I'd love to see them do it, and I think if they hit all 3 decks, maybe that gives some scope for something else to be top of the meta. It makes the testing beforehand more interesting. But
they have to hit all 3, in my opinion. So have all 3 on none, and none seems like a really bad idea. Like, if you hit this, then you're letting Prism be a bit more powerful. If you hit the Starvo, then Viscerai is going to run absolutely riot. If you hit the Starvo, like, all 3 of them keep each other in check in a way. And if you take one out of the equation, the one will stand out way more than the others, and that's what we don't want with Starvo being a thing. So then they have to hit all 3, and the only way they hit all 3 is them 3 picks, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I mean, the worst thing that they could possibly do is something that George mentioned that some people talk about, is actually raising the cap for Living Legends, so we'd have Starvo for even longer.
I think that'd honestly be the worst thing for this banded restricted announcement for me. Yeah. If we end up with Starvo for a prolonged period of time, anything that doesn't expedite him going away is is going to be unfortunate.
I mean, we're going to end up in a place where, if you actually look at what the scores are now, see, Chain's still up there, Vix is still up there. You've still got some very, very good heroes. I mean, the fact that Chain isn't the best Runeblade still kind of weirds me out, because we went through so long of it being there.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a very competitive Runeblade, right? I mean, I think he's just not quite as good as right at the moment. I think all the new cards that we got for Everfest were just all pretty much better for Viscerai than they were for Chain. Particularly Swarming.
True.
I think Swarming is just stupid for Viscerai. Always will be. I'd love to see the day when my opponent plays a Rattlebones and doesn't just immediately go and pick up Swarming Gloomveil from their discard. But maybe it'll happen.
Those days before they actually had access to it. What did he even do? It feels like such a long memory since they actually.
I don't even know what happens after Rattlebones if you don't have a Swarming. Like, I'm pretty sure the cards always come together, right?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much true. So of those 4, then, if that's kind of what we'd hope to happen, do you think it's realistic that they'd actually make 4 changes?
For me, no. No, I don't think they're gonna make those 4 changes. I think a realistic goal for me would just be to see something that hits Starvo. I mean, we've never really seen them, like, apart from Duskblade, we've never seen them ban anything that big. I don't think they'll want to shake it up and go for all of them right off, like that right away. They probably all have a case for needing to be banned, but I just don't think we're going to get it.
I think for
we
my
could just
for
go
my
for it.
for my money, I'd say definitely something for Starvo. I think
Mhm.
I think not even just the fact he's as good as he is. I think the fact that he has as bad a field to play against. Like I say, I mean, Spectra's another question there. I think we might get the elemental sword change for Rosetta.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because I've always had this feeling that as much as, there's individual cards like there's aforementioned, our classic Vexing Malice that does 2 arcane, I think.
Mhm.
Everything else is single instances, so you only ever need Arcane Barrier 1 against a Viserai or a Runeblade. So I think giving them access to something where you need to have Arcane Barrier 2 is probably not the right idea for Runeblade. You can still have the mix, just leave it as single instances, whether it's Rune Chance or Singeing
I think
Steel Blades.
the only other one that comes up to mind is potentially Sonata. It
Yeah.
can do your multiple in one instance, but that's about it. And obviously that's variable.
Yeah. So like I said, I'd love to think they do at least 2 of those, and one of them being what I think is a minor. And someone will need to explain to me why Rosetta was never elemental. Considering Shiver for Lexi, their token weapon was elemental. Titan's Fist wasn't, but that's because they also introduced the shield, and Titan's Fist is awful.
We also got Wind as well, which was actually elemental.
Yeah, but that was elemental. But you had the actual token weapon was Titan's Fist with the rusted buckler, which I don't think I've ever seen anyone run a rusted buckler outside of they've drafted Oldhim and happened to get one, and it's because actually there's no way of gaining interaction points to run 2 Titan's Fists. Well, I think that's kind of what we're expecting for PTs, is this strange Twilight Zone that I think everyone's in at the moment of, like, Blitz isn't the most interactive game at the moment. It's a lot of Viserai, which isn't fun. We've got PT coming up, but no one really knows what to test because they've not done the banned and restricted yet. So we don't know how it might change. So, I mean, I've personally felt like it's a little bit of this strange. I'm not sure what to do with FaB at the moment.
Yeah, everyone's just waiting, aren't they? Like you say, we're just in that time.
There's no
need to start testing.
There's no new set that we can just go, do you know what? We'll just do some draft for a little bit. We've got to wait till June for that. So it's a very strange time at the moment. It's like everyone's waiting for this for April 6th to come around, and then we can actually go, right, this is the plan. This is how we're going to get ready for, and not just ready as in packing our bags to go to New Jersey's, and actually planning what we're going to play for the. Obviously, you and I, George, are chumping it in the call-in.
As we will be, yes.
And,
slumming it there.
And it's just whether we play our Yoriks or whether we actually take proper decks. I think the idea
Yorick all the way.
I mean, the idea of shuffling your deck with your opponent is just... That will definitely be on the banned and restricted list. 100%.
It's all right. Just bring you 60 cracked baubles. It'll be great.
Oh God! Every game would go to time, and you'd be the most hated man in the room.
Right, sorry. Yeah, you swing your Talishar 3 times. 4 times, then it breaks, and then you've got nothing. That's it.
It's when you're playing against a warrior, and you've got all their warrior cards for a Talishar. Oh God, that'd be awful. But on PT related news, obviously we've had PT2 announced for this year as well, which is good news.
Very exciting news.
And we don't have to go all the way to the States. Instead, we just have to pop across the channel. So we've not confirmed where, but within France, but we just know that it is France.
It's going to be Paris, right?
I don't think so. I think Nice is... I know on the Ida Fidia podcast, I think they discussed Marseille, I think they discussed Nice. There's some really big cities, especially the south of France.
There's a lot of venues in France that you could run it, and I mean, I could see him go for somewhere that might be a bit cheaper than Paris, that might just be nice and easy for people to get to as well. I think it could be anywhere. Somewhere in southern France would be great. Bit of nice weather while we're there. That'd be fantastic. But I'll definitely be making the trip over for that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they've obviously said it'll be in June, so the new set, I can imagine, will get its world premiere there. Although we are
it's in
going to
August, right?
It is in Augest, yeah.
Is it August? All right. I know they said something around.
That's right, but
new
James is going there in June, so it's fine.
I'm
so
going.
it'll be there nice and early.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit there and wait. I'll be sat there with my Dorinthia deck, just waiting.
It'll be in Marseille or somewhere else, and it'll be in Paris in August. And
That sounds like my level of organisation, to be honest. But even closer to home, at the end of the year, we get a UK calling.
Really?
So whether it's a London calling in as an ode to the Clash,
He's been
probably
podcast to make that pun.
Oh no,
it hits about as hard as you'd expect. I mean,
don't do me down. I was waiting for that for so long.
He's just fired a scriptwriter now. That's it. He's yelling at him and everything.
It's part of the data team, and now we have a scriptwriter team.
I'm sorry. I've just lost where we are. I've just lost where we are on the script now. Just wait.
He's fired.
Well, no, I can imagine that'll probably end up being Birmingham. Nice and central.
I mean, I hope it's in Manchester.
But of course.
It's going to be Birmingham. I think Birmingham's the safe play.
Birmingham makes the most sense. Yeah, the NEC just seems like an ideal choice right next to the airport and everything else.
Is NEC open again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was, because I know I was going to go to the Gamescom a few years ago and it was cancelled because it turned into one of the COVID hospitals.
No, UK Games Expo's on this year, so you're all good.
Yeah, I think that'll be good fun. Definitely be going to that. Hopefully getting some of the play mats, if anything like the ones in Indy were. I mean, I know
He's hoping they're at the Pro Tour.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I know I play Warrior, but that Spill Blood play mat, part of me would be disgusted every time I saw it, but it's so pretty.
No. It's all about the shock charmers, mate. I don't even know if I'd be able to play FaB with that thing. I'd just get distracted.
I mean,
it's all about ready to roll, let's be honest.
Well, yeah.
I mean, of course you would say that.
Finally get me a dragon.
I mean, this is the thing, right? So you can have your dragon playmat. You'll have Dragon Shield FaB sleeves, which, haven't you already got some Dragon Shield FaB sleeves?
I have
There's a little... what was it for?
He's got himself his event sleeves.
Ones. These ones.
Yeah, those are the bad boys.
Yes.
Special edition Dragon Shield.
It was, they're only available in tournaments in the US, I believe. And then obviously the top 8 for skirmish got given out at Leeds, which is great. I was more chuffed with them than I was with anything else.
What's sleeved up in that at the moment, Liam?
We'll not talk about
that. So I can imagine with the Dragon Shield sleeves, right? I mean, I think they look gorgeous. I really didn't. I mean, the Heroes were a safe bet. I would have loved to. My big one was either. I heard this on I think it was Team Covenant when they were saying actually having the map of Solana on the back would have been a really cool sleeve. That or the Twinning Blade extended art on the back.
Let's be fair, we're very lucky we play a game with a lot of beautiful artwork, and there is so many good options. And I think, yes, the Heroes, I've heard complaints that it's just the Heroes they've done. They were the safe bet, like you just said. But there's so many other things they can, and I mean, they've already kind of shown their hand now with the calling, with the Pro Court, like the Pro Tour sleeves for Pro Tour 1 being Findar Spring Tunic, which is going to look amazing.
Oh, it's going to look so good.
I mean, I might end up accidentally ticking up my deck instead of my tunic, but it's gonna be all worth it. It's gonna be great. They're gonna look beautiful.
It's all right. Me and you missed that trigger anyway, mate. We don't need to worry about that.
Not no more. I'm not. It's gonna be great.
Nothing my
constant reminder.
Let's be honest. Even though they took the safe route with the Heroes, they still look amazing.
Great.
Oh, I'm still getting me some Lexi sleeves.
Yeah. I seen was it Matt Rogers playing with the Oldham sleeves? And oh my god, they look amazing.
Yeah, they're just really pretty. I don't really mind that they went for the safe bet. It was probably to try and make sure they shift as many units, make sure that it's Dragon Shield getting the most out of it, and then
it feels like a proof of concept, right? Like
exactly.
Once they sell, once Dragon Shield see that they're there, I have no doubt that we'll see some more artwork appearing, some more slightly less recognizable artwork that people outside the game aren't just going to see it and pick up and be but some very beautiful stuff, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I genuinely, when I saw the announcement that they were obviously going to do, have the partnership, I was genuinely excited to see what they're going to end up with. And by the way, it's not just Pro Tour. The calling, we also get a pack of final spring tunic Dragon Sleeve Shields sleeves. So we will also get them alongside our Yorick.
Yes, we will. Yes,
along with a Channel Fireball box.
Whatever that may be.
Well, I've got more deck boxes I can shake a stick at, but the sleeves, I want those sleeves.
Speaking of deck box,
yeah, look at those.
Show.
Oh yeah, I've got 3 of them downstairs. Just because I've not given them back.
2 of them are yours.
Yeah, no,
I'm now crying in the corner because I haven't got one.
Joe, did you get one? Did you get one? No, you didn't.
That's
just
harsh.
cruel. That's just cruel.
Very harsh.
You see why I have to put up with? Why do I even bother turning up for this?
I mean, you're going to be sat next to him on an 8-hour flight.
He's not.
Oh God.
Sat next to you.
Oh, thank God for that. That's all right then, isn't it? At least I've got a bit of distance. I can just put my headphones in and ignore.
I mean, it's a nice opportunity for you two to play Elden Ring on Switch or something like that, because that's
I've already spoken to George about this, saying that we're going to get one of them like portable consoles that the footballers have on flights and stuff, and we're just going to play Elden Ring on the way there and the way back.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to revise my thing. I'm going to steal that, and then I'm going to play Elden Ring.
Yeah, so because that, like I said, we have been in a twilight zone of FaB, so you two resorted to Elden Ring, and I've started playing Final Fantasy VII again.
What are you doing? Get Elden Ring already. Get it sorted.
I'm terrified of it. I was so bad at Demon Souls that it's kind of scared me from going into any sort of game that's.
Liam was hesitant too, and now, yeah. Anyway, getting off topic.
I've got a problem.
We have a topic.
He has got a problem now.
We have a topic to get off. But as soon as it, like you say, it's been a very quiet twilight period for FaB up until our next episode, when we can discuss all the bans or lack thereof and shake our fists at the sky like the angry old men we are. But there is one man who's allowed to be an angry old man for now, and since he's not had a go at Vexing Malice yet, Mr. Holden, Mr.
Hello.
PT.
Hello.
Please give us your Vexing Malice.
I said I'll do it, and I'm not even prepared.
You don't have to prepare to be angry. You're always angry.
Like an improvised Vexing Malice.
It comes naturally to you, mate. You'll be fine.
Yeah, but that's when I get in trouble. We all know this.
True. But
what do I want to... Like, there's multiple things that I could Vexing Malice about, right? There's Stavo, which we've already discussed. I think that needs to be banned. I think the deck's just obnoxious. It's not fun to play. It's not fun to play against. It's really... I don't even know. I'm getting annoyed thinking about it. Like, it also stops design. It also stops design space, right? Which is like, surely you want to future-proof your game, and Stavo isn't a way of future-proofing your game. Moving on from Stavo, we go to Prism. We all know I hate fucking Prism.
No.
Really?
The Aura game plan fueled by... I think it's all Luminaris. That's just why I said it before. It's all Luminaris. It's so fucking busted. It's free. It's dumb. Let's pitch a yellow and play... How many yellows do you play in your deck? I play about 50. Oh, great. Thanks, yeah. Let's swing 55 Heralds and 600 Shields. Are you dead yet? No. But
don't forget, they'll get a library that helps off that as well.
Oh, fuck the library. It's not. That's how stupid this deck's gone. They don't even play library anymore. I want to play 27 auras instead. And then I don't think Viserai is worthy of me moaning about. I think it's just Skeletor's the problem. Genuinely, I think that if you remove Skeletor from Viserai, then you've probably got a fair and reasonable aggro deck that genuinely would be a contender, but it's not stupid enough to burst out 44 damage off 2 rune chance generation just out of nowhere, because the way the whole deck interacts with itself is just fucking busted. And it really is the enabler, right? It all starts with Skeletor and ends with Skeletor. And then
it always makes me want to run Shattering Warrior.
And then to be fair, going back to Prism, Spectre can fuck off. Like, why do we put Spectre on auras when the punish from me killing the aura, not only is it my action point, right, but it blocks all the damage I have to sink into killing Spectre? So if they play an Ode out and I want to ignore it, give me that fucking option rather than going, you know what, Ode's a really piss take, and I'm going to lose my action point. So I'm just going to swing hammer and pass. Oh, great, thanks. And then meanwhile, Prism sat there laughing, fucking firing Spectral Shield like a fucking throwing stars and shit, and playing double aura turns. building a board state bigger than the fucking Great Wall of China. Like, what's the point? What is the point? Let me kill auras by my choice and not lose my action point.
I mean, so how many of those decks that you just mentioned, how many of those you played in the last month?
All of them. Which is why I'm allowed to moan about how stupid these decks are, because I've played them, I've played against them. I'm a competitive player, I have to play the best decks. I'd love to take Katsu to Pro Tour and think, yeah, I've got a stand a chance of winning. But I won't. So I can't. Rant over. Actually, you know what? I said I'd do it. There's Starro, sleeved up.
I mean, I think, do you know what? There's not much there I can disagree with. I mean,
No.
like I say, the fact that people are apologising for playing Starvo just because people genuinely hate him. The fact that Spectre is just a thing, it shouldn't be a thing. And, you know, some people were talking about, oh, this needs more auras and just slightly different tweaks. It's like, no more auras. Just no more. Don't need them. No more instant speed, an ode or a merciful when I'm about to actually hit you for the first time all game and getting popped for about 40. Or a wizard goes, oh, scour. I thought, actually, before you do that, I'm going to play this merciful. So we're both going to take damage and you'll probably die. It's just... I want FaB to be interactive again. I had a wonderful game playing the other Mr. PT, or the other Liam, when it was Chain and Dory, and it was like actually choosing when to block because I don't have to worry, and I was going so fast. He didn't really have a chance to do a good Skeletor turn. And it wasn't running that; he was running Husk anyway.
I was going to say Skeletor in Chain.
That fair and balanced card, right?
Yeah, well, it was because I kept going over the top of it. It was great.
Wait, he was using it multiple times.
No.
That's not skull cap.
Something like Adam's skull cap.
Yeah, there's an inside joke there for all our listeners.
Yeah, if you ever play Adam Maxwell, don't let him play skull cap. That's all I'm saying. Because he gets about 12 block out of it.
Or he starts with a counter on it. Depends who you ask.
For anyone listening, no, that's not slander. It was a misunderstanding. I'm sorry, Adam. Please don't. If you want to murder him in his sleep on the way to New Jersey, we won't stop you.
Yeah, we saw nothing. It's fine.
Well, in fact, I think we should get Adam on the next podcast now. I think, because he is also a
retaliation.
A New Jersey. He's also a New Jersey traveller.
He is.
And me, him, and George hopefully will be participating in a team event the night before, and he'll probably be playing Levia, knowing him. So.
No, he's on Icelander for Blitz, isn't he? That's what he's on, like the Icelander train.
Who knows?
I did think he did say he might be, so that'll be interesting.
Who knows? It's all secret. It's all secret tech from here on out. No more deck discussions. No, we're not that cagey in Manchester. So I think that actually brings us to the end of the episode. It's short. It's actually less than an hour for a change. So
yeah, goodness me.
I don't know if you two have got any points you'd like to finish on before we bid everyone adieu.
How
could
I possibly top Liam's Vexing Malice there? I mean, it's basically just fixed FaB, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Implement them changes and tell me I'm wrong. Someone, please, send you on Discord and tell me I'm fucking wrong.
Just anyone who wants to, just tell him he's wrong. Don't justify it, just put lol.
That's it. So, all the Manchester guys are going to listen to this and just DM it. You're wrong.
Regardless of your opinion, just send him. You're wrong.
No.
Yeah.
You're all wrong.
Then when he tries to argue, just put lol. Just ignore him.
Yeah.
Fine. But no, if anyone's stayed on for that long, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, George.
Thank you, James.
Hopefully, catch you on the next one.